Oh, there it goes. Okay. All right, there we go. Now some people are starting to come back. Okay, this should be better. The connection speed looks better now. So I'm gonna wait a minute for everybody to get back on, and then we'll try again. It's not a perfect technology. Well, we're up to about 50 people. I'm gonna wait another couple minutes just to let everybody get back on, and then we'll try again. I don't know what you guys heard because the last time we were doing it, it was a little bit choppy. So I'm going to summarize what was in the last segment, and then we'll move on. So to summarize, um, 2017 Lionel catalog. I'm ordering three things for certain: the Southern Pacific AC9, the S2, and the Norfolk Southern theater car. I'm thinking about the Light Mikado, the three truck Shay, and maybe one of the SD60Ms. Those are on the thinking list right now, but the sure things are the AC9, the S2, and the theater car. Other than that, not sure at this point. I'm not going to order quite as much stuff as I usually would, just because I have to divert money elsewhere right now. But that's what's going on. And then the other thing I talked about was the layout. I may be having to dismantle the layout at some point in the near future. It might be later this year, or it might be in a few years. Just depends how things go. But for that reason, I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of work on the layout until I know for sure when the layout is going to have to come down, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time and money working on it if I'm just going to have to take it down in 6 months. But if it's going to be up for a few more years, I'll try to get it a little more finished, so that I can photograph it and maybe get it in a magazine before I have to tear it down. When I do tear it down, I'm going to take everything off of it, all the stuff that's usable, and then I'll build a new layout that'll be better. It'll be modular, and it'll fix a lot of the problems that I have with this layout, because there are things that I've learned while I've been building this layout that I would like to do differently next time. And so when next time does come, which it might be pretty soon, I'm going to apply those lessons that I've learned and build a better layout. It probably won't be perfect either. No layout is. But I'll at least be able to apply some of those lessons and build a better layout that works better for me, and that's has fewer problems that I have to deal with. So that's where we were in the last segment. Now, what I'm going to do is just answer some questions real quick if people have it. Questions, and then we'll run some trains for a few minutes. Somebody says someone might buy your house, layout included, and that's probably not going to happen. It'd be cool if it did, but the chances of finding a home buyer that wants a train layout in their basement is probably pretty slim. My only thought is that maybe if it was, I don't know, but probably pretty slim chance. But when I do have to move, I am going to tear it down. I'm not going to save. I'll save some. I'm going to save everything that's savable: the track, the trains, the bridges, the trees, the buildings, the walls, maybe some of the rock work. But the bench work itself, I'm just going to tear it down and throw it away, because, like I said, made some mistakes when I built this layout. Most of them in the bench work, and so the bench work is something that I really want to improve upon next time. And so that for sure is going to go in the trash. But everything else, everything that's you can see on the layout, I'm going to have to box up and label and organize and get it all ready to move. So that's going to be I'm not looking forward to the moving part. I am looking forward to the building a new layout part. So kind of mixed feelings there. Someone says, are you buying the Daylight AC9? Yeah, I just said that. I am buying the AC9. These questions are coming in really fast. It's hard to keep up with them. Someone says, do you still have the Nickel Plate Road 765? Yeah, I do. It's on the shelf right now. And I run it every now and then. I haven't run it recently, but I do run it every now and then. I'm not going to be buying any new Lion Chief stuff out of the catalog. Some people have asked me that. I'm not going to do that. I don't have any use for Lion Chief stuff. I have one Lion Chief engine, like I said in the last segment, that I bought. I didn't even buy it. I was given it to review, and if I get another one, it'll be for the purposes of reviewing it. I really don't have any need to buy a Lion Chief engine. Someone says, do you still have NS 1982? Yes, I do, and you will see it tonight. It's actually it's on the main train right now, and so you will see it in just a little bit when we start running the trains. Someone says, will you stay in Georgia? Yeah, I'm going to stay in Georgia. I'm just going to be moving across town. And like I said, while this layout's really cool, I am looking forward to building something better and getting a house with a space that is more conducive to building something better. Because this basement's cool. It's worked out well, but it was a finished basement, so I kind of had to work around the finished part of it. If I get another house, I'm going to try to get one with an unfinished basement where I can sort of do exactly what I want to do with the layout. Someone keeps saying, what is your opinion on the T1 Trust? I have no idea what a T1 Trust is. Is that a bank account or something? Inevitably, someone always asks what my favorite locomotive is. I really don't have a favorite. People always ask. It's the first thing they ask. What's your favorite engine? What's your favorite engine? And I don't have a favorite. I like them all for different reasons. Kind of the answer I've adopted to that question lately is I stole it from a friend of mine who lives up in North Georgia, and when people ask him what his favorite engine is, he always tells them the one I just bought. So if you want to know what my favorite engine is, the answer is the one that I just bought. The pre-war styled set in the catalog. I said this in the pre-war in the previous segment. I'm not ordering that. It's really cool, but I'm not going to order it just because I already ordered tin plate, the Lionel Corporation tin plate that MTH makes, and quite frankly, nothing against Lionel, but MTH knows how to make tin plate. They've been doing it for a long time now, and that is something that I think is best left to MTH because they know what they're doing. Lionel doesn't make tin plate very often, and so I don't know. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I just don't have any reason to buy it because MTH already makes it. The T1 Trust is a group trying to rebuild the PRR T1 duplex. Okay, well, Good for them. There are a lot of steam engines being rebuilt these days. It's really cool. You know, it's like it's not a rare. It's actually becoming so. It's not really that rare of a thing. I mean, people are. I mean, every time you turn around, you hear about them rebuilding some engine and rebuilding this and rebuilding that. I mean, um, it's getting to the point now where there's quite a lot of steam engines that are being rebuilt or that are already rebuilt, and that's really cool. Really cool. Um, Someone asked me if a scale Thomas and Friends engine came out, would I buy it? No. I don't think there should be a scale Thomas and Friends engine. I mean, that's like asking for a realistic Big Bird or something. I mean, like, what's the point? Um, let's see here. Someone asked me where the blue Gulf Mobile box cars came from. Those are cool cars. Those are made by Weaver, and they were actually the last Weaver cars that I bought from Weaver. What happened was a few years ago when Weaver announced that they were going to close. I sort of I sort of freaked out and I said, "Oh, I better order as many of their cars as I can while I can." So I went to their website and I ordered probably about 8 or 10 cars, and those blue Gulf Mobile cars were two of the cars that I ordered, and they're really nice. But the cool thing is that those cars, those tools are now in the hands of Lionel. So Lionel is going to be making those same models. Probably not in the Gulf Mobile road name, but the same tooling, the same model is now going to be made by Lionel, if it hasn't been already, with the Lion Scale product line. Let's see here. Someone says, "What was your first ever O scale engine?" Well, the my first O gauge engine was when I was a kid. When I got my dad's train set, there was a Lionel post-war set, and those are the engines that he had in his set. He had a Lionel post-war 2025 steam engine, and then he had the Lionel Union Pacific 2023 anniversary set, which I now have a reproduction of. So those were the first O scale and O gauge engines that I got. I didn't get an O scale engine that's built to scale until about 2004 or so. And the first one that I got was an MTH Norfolk Southern Dash 9. And I still have that in my collection, and I will never get rid of it because it's the first scale engine that I bought, and it sort of put me on the trajectory that I'm on now. Before that, I was doing sort of post-war semi-scale toy-like stuff, and when I got that Norfolk Southern Dash 9, I was like, wow. And so then it was scale stuff ever since. Unfortunately, the Norfolk Southern Dash 9, the MTH Dash 9 that I have, it needs to go back to MTH for some work. It runs perfectly fine, but the lights are not working, and so I need to send it back to MTH at some point for them to work on it. And it's way out of warranty. It was made in like 2004 or something like that, so it's way out of warranty. But hopefully they'll be able to get the lights working on it again. But in terms of actual operation, it works. It still works perfectly fine. Next question. We'll do a couple more questions, then we'll run some trains. Someone says, what what locomotive would you recommend us, for someone starting small? Um, well, I mean, it depends on whether it depends on whether you want to go scale or semi-scale. If you want to go scale, really it doesn't matter what you get, Lionel or MTH, they're all good. If you want to go semi-scale with small stuff, one of the Lion Chief sets from Lionel is good, or one of the, an MTH starter set. Although, someone told me that MTH was going to stop making starter sets. I don't know if that's true or not. But, if I was starting off in the hobby from scratch, I would get a starter set and just go from there. Yeah, there's always somebody on here who wants to tell me what to run, and it's like, I've got hundreds of engines, so telling me what to run is probably not going to happen. I've already decided what I'm going to run tonight. I'm going to be running the Virginian, Allegheny, or Blue Ridge. I'm going to be running a Penske GG1, and I'm going to be running a big train with 3 diesels. There's I think there's a couple SD70s in there, and then there's a brand new Lionel SD90 in there as well. So I've already decided what I'm going to run tonight. Let me see here. I have not looked at the MTH 2017 catalog yet. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more questions, and then we'll run some trains. Someone says, what turnout brand do you use on your layout, and how is track brand reliability? Will you change on the new layout? Right now, all my turnouts, almost all of them are Atlas, and all the track is Atlas. I do have 2 Ross switches on my layout that I replaced a couple of broken Atlas switches with Ross switches. Not that there was anything, switches break sometimes. That just happens. And when they did, I was curious about the Ross switches, and so I replaced them with Ross switches just to sort of, see how they ran. And I like them a lot. So if I have to build a new layout, I will probably stick with the Atlas track if I can. And then for the switches, I will probably use either my existing Atlas switches, and where I can't, I will use Ross switches, because I really do like the Ross switches. They're really, really, Gargraves is really good. But, you really can't go wrong. All the track brands are pretty good. Atlas, Lionel, MTH, Gargraves, they're all pretty good. There's really no wrong choice. It's just a matter of preference. I've been really happy with the Atlas track, and the Atlas switches. They're pretty good too, but I've been really impressed with the Ross switches. So probably at this point, if I had to do it again, I would use Atlas track and Ross switches, and they are compatible. You can actually, the Atlas track clips will fit perfectly onto the Ross track or Gargraves. So they are completely compatible with each other. So that's where I would go right now. I'm going to try to do 1 more question. I do have MTH Santa Fe passenger cars. They are blue. They're part of my Blue Goose set. Boy, there's just a ton of questions coming in. It's hard to keep up. Someone says, will you do a review of the Allegheny next? Yeah, the Allegheny is actually next on the review queue. The Allegheny, and then the Vision Line GG1. And right now I'm filming a review for the Lionel smoke loader, the smoke fluid loader. That should be out next week. And then after that it'll be the Allegheny, and then after that it'll be the GG1. And as I said in the first segment, which some of you might not have seen, the next video will be, I'm going to upload it tomorrow night, and that is episode 61 of Eric's Trains. And that's sort of a how-to video. And so that should be online probably by Saturday morning, so you can check that out. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run some trains. I'm going to run 3 trains. I'm going to run the Virginian Allegheny Blue Ridge. Again, I'm going to run the Pennsy GG1 up on top. And then on the main loop that goes around the entire basement, I'm going to be running a diesel consist that has 3 diesels in it. I think 2 of them are SD70s and 1 of them is SD90. And someone asked about Norfolk Southern 1982 earlier, and that is on that train right now, so you will actually see that in just a few minutes. So I'm going to turn the camera around. And we'll set it up about right here. Oh, by the way, right now there is a loop of standard gauge track on my floor. You can see it down there. And it goes around the underside of the table, and I just bought some standard gauge trains around Christmas time, and so I've been running them on that track. Let's move back a little more. There we go. Okay. By the way, I have the new invisible cantilever system on the top level. It's completely invisible. Catenary, that's what I meant. Not cantilever, catenary. It's the new MTH invisible catenary system. It's completely invisible. That's the GoRail SD60. So it's the SD60E, SD70, and then an SD90 up front. There we go.
Roger that. Green lights ahead. Out.